I was elevated greatly when I arrived tonight. Ahmed introduced me as the world's leading medical device design company. And I thought, man, I've arrived now. And I really hate to tell Joel and Ravi that. But you know what? I'm a modest guy, so I'm going to say we are one of the world's greatest. And I think the other two great ones will be here after I speak. So we have an opportunity tonight to hear from people that are in the industry we're in, and we really, we love being part of the medical industry, and we really enjoy what we do. Aubrey Group. We're a private company in Irvine, California, founded in 1994. Medical device focused, although we do things outside the medical industry. We have some green energy projects, and we've done some food processing closely related to the healthcare. We do product design everywhere from concept on a napkin all the way through regulatory approval. We file 510Ks and PMAs for our customers if they need us to do that. We also have a contract manufacturing operation that's ISO 13485 qualified, and we do everything in there from 1 or 2 prototypes all the way up to contract manufacturing on a routine basis. So we have a lot of services we offer. I want to talk a little bit about the new healthcare environment we're all involved in. There are a lot of changes going on in healthcare. Since World War II, America has led the world in healthcare innovation. New drugs, new diagnostic tools, new procedures, new methods. I mean, it's incredible what the American ingenuity has done. Cost has never been a big issue for us in this process. We've found generous people willing to pay great amounts of money for healthcare in America. But that's all changing. There's a new environment. The world has changed. The economic condition and the number of people that expect and want healthcare has changed dramatically in the last several years. Economic conditions have dictated a new paradigm. We really have to do things in a different way. We really have to think about our whole industry. Healthcare costs are excessive in America. They're excessive mostly worldwide, but in America they're especially excessive. Healthcare is changing in so many different ways. The healthcare tax is putting an onus on all of us. We see companies that are very reluctant to spend money these days because they don't know what impact that's going to have on the environment they're living within. Public companies have to make a profit. Their stock reflects that. They're searching, and one of the ways they're trying to find this money is taking it out of R&D and new product development. So that's affecting us. There are big markets expanding worldwide, India, China, all the rest of it, and new companies are emerging as a result, and a lot of that's being done in India and China. And so the result of all that is that America's healthcare industry is at risk. Just like the automobile industry was in risk in the late 70s, early 80s. I mean, we have to really change the way we think about doing healthcare in America if we're going to continue to be in a leading position. So we got to change to compete. Refocus American ingenuity from make money to low cost, improved outcomes, better patient care. That's the future of medicine, and it has to be done at a very low cost. So at Aubrey Group, we have refocused the entire organization. I've been to so many financial meetings. Price Waterhouse just did a recent one in Irvine, and they talked about the amount of money that's being invested in healthcare and the diminishing investments for startups particularly, and the fact that most of the money goes to later stage companies that were funded some time ago. And the hurdles are the FDA, the cost to get through clinical trials. All of those things are affecting us. So we've got to change the way we do this if we want to continue to dominate, because if you go to India or China, they have FDA certified manufacturing facilities. They're doing all this stuff at a much lower cost. So we got to figure out a way to do it. We have to use American ingenuity. So I've gone through our company and we've looked at doing things differently. because we have to respond to the customers who are trying to compete in those markets. So we're improving product development. We're improving capital efficiency, making money go a lot further. And we're, in the end, trying to help them, our customers, improve the human condition. So how did we improve, or how are we improving product development? We are designing our products and focusing on low-cost manufacturing. Not only the cost of the components going into the product, but how can this thing be made at a much lower cost than we've ever thought about before. We use experienced development engineers on these projects, and when we select engineers for a project, we insist that they have experience doing what it is that we're trying to do. In the past, we would put a team together. Oh yeah, we need electrical engineer, mechanical engineer, software guy. Put them a team together, and they'd have to go up a learning curve to try to figure out what this particular product required in order to get the best result. Well, that costs a lot of money when you have to learn something each time. So we've actively gone out now and started looking for engineers that will work for us on a consulting basis when we have specific needs that we recognize. We bonus our engineers for on-time and on-budget performance. A little bit different in our industry than in the old days. We track our projects on a weekly basis. How much did we accomplish? After the projects are over, we do a post-review. We look back at the project and say, what could we have done better? Where did we make errors that we had to change the way we did it, or we had to do something a second time? Look through everything involved in the project, from the planning stage all the way to product delivery, and look for those loopholes to see if we can't scrunch costs and become more effective. Basically, this is the continuous improvement philosophy that the automobile industry used when they had to go through those changes. So then we look at capital efficiency, and we recognize that there just isn't the money in healthcare that there used to be. The investment dollars are very tight. Even the big companies are very careful about how they spend their money. So we put together a program to allow our customers to be virtual. This is applied principally to the startups. We provide workspace. We provide incubator lab development areas, low cost services and systems. The quality system that we have can be duplicated, and we can provide that to them so that they don't have to have a quality system. And our company can be their quality representative. And that fee is like $3,000 to $5,000 a month for doing all the quality regulatory work for a startup company. Otherwise, they got to hire somebody. One person by itself is going to cost a lot more than that, not to mention the cost of putting together a quality system. And all that's provided for a very small fee. Also puts them in an environment where they can use focused engineering help. We have a large staff to do projects, but they can call on us and use experts we have to help when they run into problems. And they only pay for the services that they actually need for the short time they need it. That's another thing that a company like ours has typically not done in this past. We typically wouldn't sign up a contract or do anything for somebody unless it was, $150,000 or some big number. So now we're offering services to small companies, very affordable, targeted to solve the problems they have. That allows them to use the expertise only when they need it. So we think this is a very good concept that's going to help some of the startup companies that are having trouble getting the amount of funding they need. In the old way, they used to start a company, go rent some space, set up a quality system, start putting together a manufacturing plant, and do all that stuff. Don't need any of that stuff. Very low fee. They can come, we'll give them space, place, we'll help them, nurture them, hopefully get through clinical, get proof of concept, be able to get that round of funding that can take them out into a product in the marketplace so they can be bought by Medtronic for billions of dollars, right? So finally, all this rolls down into our goal to improve the human condition. And we're really fortunate to be in an industry where there are a lot of companies that we're working with that are in that process. So some of the projects we've been on, I'm going to talk about very briefly, are next generation therapies for genetic diagnosis, targeted treatments, and customized drugs. All this stuff is right on the horizon. You know, it's been talked about for years and years, but there's activity now leading to solutions to problems we've never been able to solve before. The result of all that is vastly improving outcomes. This is a customer we did a project for, TGI. It takes adipose tissue, fat, from liposuction, and separates out T cells and collects them, identifies the usable T cells and collects them so they can be used. I don't know if any of you saw Suzanne Summers making the circuit in the morning television shows recently, but she has a new book out. And part of what she's talking about is the fact that she had breast cancer a few years ago, and she's now regrown a new breast. And it's as a result of this system. A doctor got an IDE, and he went to the hospital and got permission to do a procedure. And they've been multiplying her T cells and have been injecting her every 6 weeks for 2 years. And she remarkably has completely healed. It's just amazing to see her. GenMark's another one of our customers. This is a genotyping system that it's used to diagnose the potential for a number of different cancers, including breast cancer and uterine cancer, by looking at somebody's genetic makeup and looking to see whether they are predestined, likely to have those diseases. So there are treatment therapies that can be used to stave off diseases. Here's a project that was done by a company, came to us from China. And they had a process in a laboratory on the bench to do cell duplication, but they had to control the temperature, the pH, the fluid, the weight, and a number of factors to do this. And they had technicians doing this 2 or 3 at a time for 7, 8 hours a day. They would have to shut it all down at night, put it all away, come back the next day and start it all back up again. We took that procedure and we automated the whole thing in 90 days with off-the-shelf laboratory equipment and controllers, and put the system together. We delivered 3, we're producing 2 more now. They're working perfectly. They're putting them in clinical research institutions in China. So, interesting project. That's the kind of thing that we need to think through when we design equipment here. There are ways to get from point A to point B without spending a lot of time or a lot of dollars, but the ultimate result is a great benefit to the patient and to the advancement of health. Here's a system we did for Epicor a few years ago. We won a design award for. It's for atrial fib. One of several projects that we've done for a company that ends up getting bought by St. Jude, or I guess the next one is Barracks. Both of those companies were sold for hundreds of millions of dollars with the products that we worked on. And we got paid for doing the work, but we didn't get any of the big bonus money at the end. So I put those in there just so I could cry a little bit. You guys would feel sorry for me. Anyway, it's exciting being at Aubrey Group. You guys might want to see a few customers. We only display customers' names who have given us permission. We do a lot of work for a lot of companies that ask to remain silent or quiet because they don't want competitors to know they're working with us. But I'm sure you recognize a few of these good-sized companies. Anyway, thank you very much.